Welcome back again. In the previous video, we have grasped the concept of strategizing the AP activities through understanding the children's characteristics and their potential and strength. Now, in this video, the last final video of this module, we are going to see the last strategy, that is work on developing the self-regulated learners. Self-regulation means learning to control one's behavior and emotions well enough to focus on tasks at hand, enjoy the process of activities, as well as solve the problems as it arises and get along with the others. This applies the same for the young children too. Self-regulation is the end product of a well-developed executive function involving various cognitive processes that help a child think, behave in an organized way. Experts emphasize that children do not become self-regulated learners on their own. Rather, they develop it under the care of adults, provided a nurturing, supportive, and positive environment with rules that are purposeful, easy to understand and enforce. When children see themselves as an important part of the learning community, they feel more confident and are better able to control impulsive and disruptive behaviors. This in turn supports them develop their executive function, which later helps them in school and life. So following are some of the strategies to foster self-regulated learner. Developing appropriate practices that foster self-regulation are model problem-solving strategies. Use role play to help children understand that they have alternatives for handling problems. Help children act out situations, help one another, and negotiate solutions. Understand and supports children's emotion, fear, and frustration that stem from their struggles for success, especially as compared to their peers. Encourage children to think of others' feelings, not just their own, even though their natural tendencies toward egocentric thinking may make it difficult for them to see things from other people's perspective. Use language to support children. Ask questions and model language that encourage children to think about other people, not just themselves. For example, in a situation where a child is upset with another child and unable to express it, you can ask the child who made the child upset. What do you think he is upset with you? Why do you think he is upset with you? Or ask the upset child to tell why he is so with verbal expression. Tell Peter why you are sad. Say, you step on my tower, that's why I was sad, and then what I was building. Set up activities and centers to support children's self-regulation and self-control. Arrange the corners and activities so as to limit distraction and social conflict and provide outlet for the feelings of frustration. Consider schedule and children's disposition when presenting challenging tasks. Don't present challenging tasks at the time when the children will have difficulty tackling new situations or controlling their impulses, such as before lunchtime or nap time. Understand that children who differ in age and development have specific needs. Now, ways to foster children learn negotiating skills are: help the children identify the words they need to express their emotion and show how using words result in a more satisfying resolution. Model expressive language to help children analyze what is happening by thinking out loud. Role play difficult situations and their solutions. For example, sharing, taking turns, and apologizing to each other to help children learn how to deal with the conflicts. Ask questions that encourage children to consider persons, objects, or events not immediately present there and to think about the other people. Encourage them to be empathetic. Stimulate them with imaginary situation, how it would feel if they were in the situation. Now, some of the indicators that children have become self-regulated learners are given as: children are better able to take turns and cooperate with others. Ask questions to further understanding. For example, how my thumb is bigger than a star, relating to the question before. Then communicate ideas clearly. It has 3 angles, that's why it is called triangle, if they are able to say that. Communicate the plan and decision clearly. For example, let's play school and I'll be the teacher and you be the student. Negotiate better. That is example. Okay, you can be the teacher, but I want to be the supervisor, if they are able to negotiate. Control their impulses. For example, it's okay that you knock over my tower, but I can build it again. Share information about what they have learned. Example, during the holiday, I went with Papa to meet Grandpa. At the airport, they asked for an ID card. You know we cannot fly an airplane if you don't have your ID card. I gave my school ID. So if they are able to share such things. So now to conclude with the module, hope this module facilitates in comprehending the concept of developmentally appropriate practice in early childhood care and education, with more inputs in understanding the guiding principles for educators in delivering it in the effective manner. Understanding young children, their strengths and weakness, and fostering self-regulation as the key strategic planning for DAP would have provided you with an insight into how understanding the simple facts about children through scientific views make a difference in early learning. The next module on the guiding principles and suggestive developmentally appropriate practice for 3 to 6 years, part 2, would elaborate on developmental milestones and suggest some of the DAP activities. Thank you.